Fans were surprised by Janelle's prompt response to a question in the most recent Sister Wives episode. Janelle was questioned if she would ever think about going to counseling with Kody and Robyn while having a good time with her pals. Janelle seemed to be enjoying herself, and when the subject of Kody and Robyn came up, she was not going to back down. The difference between the Brown family's original plans and the current lifestyle of the ex-wives has always been hinted at in the reality show. There is a noticeable change between the two ideas at this point. As the discussion continued, many admirers added their own ideas, and Janelle's response went viral. Would Janelle consider any possibility of reconciling those relationships, or has she advanced too far to turn around? To learn more, continue reading. Since the release of the Sister Wives mid-season trailer last week, Kody Brown's apology tour has gone viral. Many people, both fans and non-fans, have been doubting Kody's sincerity and intentions. Kody stated in the trailer that he hoped to mend fences with his ex-wives. Christine, Janelle, and Meri are among his former spouses. He told Robyn that he wanted to own his role in the dissolution of the family, particularly after Meri and Janelle failed to recognize him during the Coyote Pass property signing. Kody had to reconsider how he had divided the land after that. Kody expressed to Robyn his expectation that expressing regret may set his exes free from their resentment of him. However, Robyn was not persuaded by the strategy either. In her confession, she went on to acknowledge that Kody frequently makes impassioned claims that never materialize. She also wondered if anything would be fixed by his plan. However, Kody maintained that he wants to make amends for the harm he did, and that he regrets the fury he displayed. Fans praised Janelle's candid assessment of her former family members in a recent show. One of her friends asked her if she would ever think about attending therapy with Kody and Robyn while they were out partying. Janelle responded without hesitation. "No, I don't like she said right away. She expressed the same ideas, albeit in different words, when producers asked her the same topic during her confessional. "No, no, why? That is pointless." "No, why must I do that?" inquired Janelle. Viewers were charmed over by Janelle's direct and humorous response, and many of them commended her for speaking honestly after years of remaining composed and considerate. Reactions from fans flooded social media, labeling the sequence as one of the season's most honest moments. "Janelle is so real," a fan commented. "Love her. She already knows them well enough to know it's pointless," said another. Services for streaming TV online counseling with Kody would just rekindle old wounds, according to other commenters who contended that Kody should be the one in treatment rather than his ex-wives. Others praised Janelle's development and expressed their admiration for her ability to express her emotions rather than suppress them. Fan threads had comments like, "Go Janelle" and "We love you, Janelle," with many concurring that she has fully embraced her confidence after ending her multiple marriages. Viewers of Sister Wives have been following Janelle Brown through a complex emotional maze for years. This maze has woven its way through many marriage dynamics, shifting allegiances, spiritual convictions, and the agonizing disintegration of a once cohesive family. Janelle's split from Kody Brown was quiet, purposeful, and based on a thorough awareness of her own needs, rather than being abrupt or dramatic. She knew she had lost more than just a spouse when she left the marriage. She had also lost a feeling of respect, friendship, and cooperation. Nevertheless, the fandom has continued to wonder if Janelle would ever go back in time. Would she think about seeing Kody for counseling once more? Was it even possible for her to sit across from Robyn and work through years of conflict, unfulfilled promises, and emotional neglect? After all, more than any other interaction, the emotional gravity between these three people has shaped the Sister Wives world. Janelle finally responded to this topic recently, and her answers showed that she had not only matured but changed as a person. An injury that was much deeper than viewers understood. There wasn't a single altercation, a hurtful remark, or a communication breakdown that caused Janelle to leave Kody. Years of emotional deterioration led to the breakdown of their spiritual marriage. Despite her best efforts to promote justice, equality, and connection, she felt more and more marginalized in a family dynamic that seemed to be centered around Robyn's desires and Kody's changing priorities. Janelle had been the quiet presence, the steady force that kept chaos at bay, and the voice of common sense. But when the weight grows too great, even the strongest structures give way. The turning point came during the epidemic years. Janelle experienced emotional abandonment, dismissal, and blaming. Every discussion between her and Kody appeared to revolve around his dissatisfaction, his unfulfilled expectations, and his conviction that she wasn't devoted enough to his vision or his standards. She claimed that although counseling had been tried in the past, it had never truly helped. Janelle thought Kody came looking for approval rather than genuinely. Even in a crowded environment, she frequently felt isolated. Her thoughts were often ignored. Her attempts to set boundaries were viewed as obstacles rather than sincere requests for connection, and her emotional needs were unmet. The world thus witnessed a woman regaining her authority when she said that she had spiritually divorced Kody. However, they were blind to the voyage of self-discovery. She went on in silence afterward, following Kody. A calm rebirth. Many fans observed something remarkable when they saw Janelle after the split. She appeared lighter, happier, more realistic. She started concentrating on her children, her business endeavors, and her health. She accepted new friendships, took numerous trips, and learned to relax without the continual burden of marital stress. She stopped basing her life on what other people thought she should do. The days of compromising or caving into every choice were over. Her habits changed toward independence and tranquility after being founded on a family structure that no longer worked for her. Her children wholeheartedly supported her choice to separate after witnessing her suffer years of emotional isolation. They served as her pillars of support and a constant reminder that she was worthy of more. As the months went by, people continued asking the same question. Would therapy ever allow her to reunite with Robyn and Kody to mend their broken relationships? Janelle recently gave an honest response that wasn't resentful. Would she consult Kody once more? When asked if she would think about seeing Kody for counseling, Janelle didn't think twice. She recognized their common past, the kids they brought up, and the life they created together as a poly family. However, she was also realistic about their emotional separation. According to her, counseling would only be effective if both parties came in looking for understanding rather than explanation. That wasn't the case for years. She believed that every counseling session with Kody turned into an analysis of her shortcomings, what she needed to improve, or how she was falling short of his standards. She therefore responded to the question with the clarity of someone who has engaged in intense emotional labor. She stated that she might think about seeing Kody for counseling, but only under certain situations. Only if he truly wished to hear her side of the story. Only if he took ownership of his part in their strained relationship. Only if he didn't think every discussion would go his way. There was no indication of reconciliation here. Janelle made it plain that she had no interest in mending the marriage. Rather, she viewed counseling as a possible route to emotional closure, co-parenting and harmony. A means of providing their adult children and grandchildren with a healthier environment. A means of moving on without bitterness. But would she ever go to therapy when Robyn and Kody were both there? Even more attention was drawn to her remark. Her opinion on having a conversation with Robyn. If it was difficult to counsel Kody on his own, it was almost impossible to sit down with Robyn. Since Robyn came into the picture, Janelle has long recognized the underlying conflict in the family. Although she didn't particularly dislike Robyn, she was aware of the imbalance caused by the family's forced reorganization in response to her arrival. Robyn and Kody always had a closer, more passionate, and more exclusive relationship. Although Janelle was aware of this, she didn't think it would overshadow his relationships with his former spouses. She gradually unraveled when she saw him constantly put Robyn first, especially during the pandemic. Janelle carefully considered what to say when asked if she would ever counsel both of them. Although she regarded Robyn as a person, she stated that she did not think all three of them would benefit from counseling. Too much history, too much pain. There were far too many times when she didn't feel respected, heard, or seen. According to Janelle, Robyn was closely involved in the emotional partiality that led to the plural marriage's dissolution. She wasn't sure the three of them could accomplish the amount of accountability and emotional honesty needed for counseling. She stressed that it would require tremendous willingness from everyone, but she did not declare she would never do it. She also secretly didn't think that willingness existed. A woman who prefers calm to chaos, although Janelle's announcement wasn't shocking, it was impactful. She had no desire to resurrect a marriage that no longer suited her or relive past conflicts. She didn't want an emotional comeback, an apology, or approval. Peace was what she sought. She thinks forgiveness is important for letting go of resentment, rather than for fixing what was wrong. She believed that counseling would only take place if it promoted harmony rather than confrontation. And for the first time in a long time, she is putting her health first, guilt-free. Her remarks demonstrated to her admirers that she has matured well beyond the dynamics of multiple marriages. Now she is aware of her identity. She is aware of her rights. She is also aware of what she will no longer put up with. Her sense of self has never been stronger, even though her relationship with Kody might never fully recover. A brand new era for Sister Wives. Viewers are seeing something unexpected as the Brown family continues to disintegrate, reconstruct, and reinvent itself. The women who once encouraged Kody to pursue his dreams are now pursuing their own goals. They are emerging from the shadow of a guy who once desired complete control, discovering their voices and taking back their lives. Janelle's narrative is one of freedom rather than heartache. Furthermore, her disclosure regarding counseling does not close the door. A boundary is being established, a barrier based on self-respect, clarity, and dignity. Fans who watched her transformation from a hopeful multiple bride to a strong, self-reliant woman may now see what she has become, someone who aggressively defends her value. Whether or if counseling does place, one thing is certain. Janelle has already undergone the most significant kind of healing. She made her own decision, and she will never attend a more effective counseling session than that one.